Hi everyone, welcome to the Gutzy Show with Coach Rachel. This is the premier Gutzy Show on the YouTube channel. Thank you for being here. In fact, I am so excited that you are here and I would like to celebrate. But first, let me tell you a little bit about me and introduce myself. My name is Coach Rachel. I'm a gut health coach RN, and what I get to do is to teach women 40 plus how to conquer their abdominal bloat so they feel fabulous, confident, and slim in their skin without feeling deprived of their favorite foods. Yes, it's what I do and what I love to do, and I just love to watch the women go through the transformation of conquering their abdominal bloat and slimming their waistline and doubling their energy and so much more. So if you would please, I would like to celebrate this premiere show of the Gutzy Show on the YouTube channel. So let's do a little party blowing. Woohoo! Again, thank you so much for being here. And this very first show, I'm going to give you some fabulous tips on how to stop your abdominal bloat, how to conquer your abdominal bloat. In fact, 3 of them that are so simple and they're free. They're very practical, actually. But first, before I get there, I want to tell you a little bit about my background on this very first show, so you can always go back to it if you want. So I've been a registered nurse for over 25 years, and I love being a nurse. And in that time frame, I spent the majority of my career as a gastroenterology nurse, or GI for short. And I saw firsthand how bloat and gut issues affected my patients, right? They may have had many different issues that they came to us for, but bloat was always a common denominator. And I just saw firsthand how it affected their lives in so many ways. It made them drained. They were normally depressed. You know, they didn't like how they looked, or it depleted their energy, things like that. And it hurt too. You know, it was uncomfortable, tight. So also during that time though, and even starting back in my early 20s, I started suffering from abdominal issues, and bloat being one of them. And it kind of started in my 20s when my gallbladder started acting up. 4 years later, so that meant 4 years of suffering. Nurses can, anyway, 4 years of suffering, I decided to go ahead and have it taken out, and that was a really good choice. And as soon as my body got adjusted to not having a gallbladder, because part of what your gallbladder does is help you digest fats, it got to smooth sailing and my bloating went away. Fast forward many years, I got a terrible stomach virus. I was out sick for over a week. And with that stomach virus came a change in my gut microbiome, which is the bacteria in your gut. And since that, at that time is when my gut just started to be bloated mostly every day, and also with abdominal pain and gas and just plain old uncomfortableness. So that went on for many years. At that time, actually, I was working for the GI doctor, wonderful doctor. He took really good care of me. I had many tests, I had many prescriptions given to me, I had many instructions handed to me for that. And you know what? All good intentions. I have a high respect for doctors. I love working in the field that I do. However, they were more like Band-Aid fixes, you know? And the prescriptions that I was getting, or even over-the-counter medicines that you buy at the drugstore, were kind of expensive. And I just didn't like having to take those every day. I did that for several years though, actually. And the next diagnosis that came up for me, because it didn't quite fix it, through a series of more tests, was gastroparesis. So that kind of explained why my bloating wasn't going away with the medicines that I was being given and the treatment. So gastroparesis, for those of you who don't know what it is It's not as common. It's kind of common in diabetics, but let me go back. I'm not diabetic. Gastroparesis, what that is your stomach doesn't empty correctly, meaning it's very slow. So your stomach is a muscle, a smooth muscle, you know, and it contracts to make your food go down into your small intestine and the rest of your digestive tract. And a person who has gastroparesis, such as myself, it's slow. So instead of, you know, moving maybe like this, it moves very slowly. And then there's a little flapper or an outlet, a valve, where it empties into the small intestine, and mine does not work correctly. You know, it doesn't open up correctly either, and that's what gastroparesis is about. It's kind of broken. So what happens when you have food stuck in your stomach because it's not moving out at the right time is it ferments, it makes one nauseated, it makes one bloated, and it makes you feel like you've eaten a Thanksgiving dinner when maybe all you've eaten is, you know, a sandwich and an apple. That's what I used to say. I've eaten a sandwich and an apple, and I feel like I've had Thanksgiving dinner most days of the week. So it wasn't too fun. So I started taking antibiotics for that, which helps to promote the stimulation of your stomach. And those were quite expensive. It worked, but I had to take them every time I ate. And I took that for many years until, you know what, I said, you know, these are all Band-Aid fixes. Let me see if I can research into lifestyle changes instead. So that's what I did a few years back. And I can say now, I don't take prescription drugs anymore. I don't take antacid drugs anymore. I don't take anti-nausea or anti-spasmodic medicines anymore. And I'm bloat free. And I'm feeling fabulous. I feel slimmer than ever, even though I'm older. And I feel confident, and it's doubled my energy. So I have a passion for sharing this. So with all my gathered knowledge through my RN, through my patient experience, through my own experience, I have a passion for sharing this. I have a real deep passion for helping women conquer their abdominal bloat and just plain old get their gut well. You'll notice that's my little tagline, get your gut well. Now, part of that journey in spreading the word, I went back to school to study to become a certified health and life coach. So as a registered nurse, yes, I was very used to talking to patients and interviewing them, but I learned some new techniques and some very good techniques to be able to talk to clients, to help them set, meet their goals. So it's been very gratifying. So with all that together, again, I have a real passion for spreading the word and helping as many women as possible across the globe online here. We're lucky with that. So they can feel fabulous, confident, and slim in their skin without feeling deprived of their favorite foods, because that's absolutely how I feel. And I want them to feel that way too. So thank you for listening to that. Now, let's get on to the nitty-gritty, okay? Why do you bloat? And how can you stop bloating? Well, bloating is unique to every individual. It's not cookie cutter. The goals that the tips and things that I'm going to share with you today are all free. You can start them today. And nobody you don't have to depend on anybody to do them. They're just yours. So they're simple. They can become part of your lifestyle, and they're sustainable. So the very first one I want to give you, a double thing here. It's a why we bloat, and then the tip behind it is, the first tip is chew your food to mush. M-U-S-H. Yep, that's the reason people bloat. a lot of times is because we are eating so fast in today's society and we're distracted all the time. We're scrolling, we're watching TV, we're doing homework or all sorts of things, sitting at our desk, these remote jobs where we work from home. And we are not chewing our food. And guess what? Your food is not meant to be swallowed in chunks. The digestive process actually starts as soon as you start smelling your food and your saliva starts breaking down your food once it enters your mouth. And as you put it in your mouth, chew, they say 30 times. But if you can just remember mush, like the consistency of yogurt or the consistency of, say, oatmeal. And when that happens, and your food's going to push to the back of your tongue and it's going to want to swallow it. It happens to me. What you do is you just push that food to the front and then keep chewing until it's absolute mush. And what happens here is when your food is mush, it causes less gastric distress, right? And your stomach is able, your intestines, because it's already mush when it gets there, it's going to absorb a whole lot more nutrients out of it instead of being large chunks. And actually, when you swallow large chunks of food and it goes into your small bowel, your small intestine, it's more likely to be stored as fat. So another great reason to chew your food. So tip number 2 is, again, more about people eating fast, but it's just slow down when you eat. And what that looks like is maybe taking 2 or 3 bites, putting your fork down or your spoon down, and just chewing and just breathing for a second. Pick it back up, take another bite, chew to mush. You can do that for another 2 or 3 bites, and then rest it down. You'll be surprised at how this helps you slow down and just makes you be aware of what you're doing and eating, because this hurried eating, again, is taxing on your digestive system. It's taxing on your nerves. And then when you slow down, your brain catches up with your gut, because there really is the gut-mind connection or the mind-gut connection. Either way you want to say it, because there is a nerve that runs from here to here that's in constant communication. And when you slow down, it catches up that you're full. And so you don't eat as much. How's that sound? Okay, number 3 is to move after your meals. Take a little leisure walk, even if it's 5 minutes. It's good if you can make it 10 or 15, but even if you have 5 minutes, it'll help your stomach contract, helps move the food through the stomach instead of sitting there. Because when you say you're done eating dinner, you're eating lunch, and you're back at your desk, the food is just going to sit there because you're immobile, right? You have very limited movement. So this walk, I don't want you to take a fast-paced walk or a brisk walk. I want you to take a leisure walk. Just enjoy the scenery. If you get to go outside, maybe look at the pretty flowers or hear the birds singing as you go. If you can't get outside, you can always walk in place. If you'd like to double duty, like I do a lot of times, you could do some chores for your walking. Maybe your house needs vacuuming. After your lunch, after your dinner, vacuum your house. That probably takes longer than 5 or 10 minutes, but that's the kind of activity. You could even Swiffer. One thing I have also done is fold laundry. And then, I take like 1 or 2 piles at a time and put it away. So that makes, where I'm folding them from at my table, it makes several tips, and it can add up. It makes several trips, so it can add up to 5-10 minutes. It's really sneaky there. And again, what that does is it helps to, 1, lower your blood sugar. So, and then 2, just to help move that food through the stomach and start the whole digestive process through the small intestine. So those are the 3 tips that I have for you. Now, what I would like to do here first, though, is tell you what a health coach and a life coach does for their clients, because you may be going, what does a coach do? Although there's lots of videos out there on coaching as well. Well, as your coach, I give you the right system, the right support with the right accountability. I'm also your cheerleader, but I'm also your nudger, meaning, I move you forward in steps that we agree upon. Just gently stretch you, because a lot of times getting into this uncomfortable zone is when you'll get the most growth and you'll become more confident, and that's when the weight will unlock and your energy will start to increase. I've seen it over and over again. And plus giving you tips and tricks and things like that you would have never thought of without the help of your coach. Plus, the accountability is a big one. My clients say having an accountability partner, their coach, or actually also sometimes at home where a family member or a friend helps them be accountable in between sessions for the action steps that they take. So now I want to say first here, so bloating, abdominal bloating, there's a little disclaimer. Bloating can be a serious issue. It can be signs of other things. So my clients come to me because they've already been checked out by the doctor, right? And if they have not, and they've had bloating for a little while, I actually want them to work in collaboration and go see their doctor, because it can be actually a very serious health issue. But if you've had that checked out and everything comes back normal, I'm here to teach you a way that you don't have to stay stuck on prescriptions or tied to the doctor anymore. By modifying your lifestyle, it just becomes who you are with what you do during the day, what you eat during the day, who you are, and what you're being. Just becomes who you are. And so, as a registered nurse, you get that as me as your coach. However, I'm not a replacement for the doctor, because I want you to work in collaboration with your doctor as well if you need to. So just let's wrap up the summary here. So I gave you the 3 tips on how to stop your bloating. Was 1, chew your food to mush. Number 2, slow down. And number 3, take a little walk after you eat. Those 3 tips are free. They're easy to incorporate in your life, and they're sustainable because it will become just who you are if you just start practicing them. Will help conquer your bloat so you can be on your way to feeling fabulous and confident and slim. All righty. Well, I thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions for me, please put it in the comments. And if you found this video valuable, like you liked what it said, it helped you a little bit, or please give it a thumbs up. That really helps me on this channel. And then also share it or put somebody's name in the comments. I do have a Facebook page too. It's called Florida Guts Coaching, or you can find me at my website. I'll put those in the links down below, both of those. It's www.floridaguts, and that's flgutz.com. It'll tell you more about me and the coaching programs that I offer. It's one-to-one coaching, 12 weeks of coaching, and you will come out on the other end just conquering your abdominal bloat, feeling fabulous, confident, slim in your skin, and not feel deprived in the process. So again, thanks for your time. I'm going to do these, periodically. Actually, on Facebook business page, I have a monthly Gutzy Show, but here on YouTube, I'm just going to be recording these and uploading them from there. And again, if you have any questions for me, please reach out to me. I'm here to help. I don't want you to suffer anymore. So with that, I will talk to you next time. Take care. Bye.